All right, in this video we are going to extend the rock, paper, scissors example that we did in chapter 7. And so in this version, if you haven't seen how this is developed, you might want to go back and watch it first. But it just plays one round of rock, paper, scissors. So I enter a guess, rock, and the computer chooses rock, and it's a tie here. So, but normally what you would want to do is probably play several rounds of rock, paper, scissors. And so since in chapter 8 we started talking about loops, and with loops you can repeat code over and over again, what we're going to do is now extend this so that we will be able to play multiple rounds without rerunning the program. Okay, so what we want to do is say from this line here, line 11, where we prompt the user to enter rock, paper, or scissors, we want to repeat starting from there. We don't really need to make multiple scanner objects or multiple random objects. So, so we'll just repeat starting from line 11 and then all the way down to where that prints the final results. That's this big else if block here. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is just sort of take the easy way out and enclose this in a while loop. And I'm just going to use true as the condition. And then, if you do that, that's going to cause an infinite loop. So at some point, we'll have to issue a break statement to break out of this loop. All right, and so I'm going to encase the entire bit there from what used to be line 11 all the way down here to the end of this else if statement. And that's what I want to repeat over and over again. Okay, so that compiles. The indentation is off. In JGrasp, you can take a shortcut to make that look nicer and go generate CSD and then remove CSD, and you can see it's indented that block that's in the while loop, the body of the while loop, which is as it should be. Okay, if we run this and just check to see everything's working okay. So now that will let us play multiple rounds here. Okay, but right now it will not let us quit. It'll keep going, right? So we're stuck in an infinite loop. So what you want to do to prevent that is down at the end of the while loop, down here, we'll want to print and prompt the user for some more another piece of input. And there we'll say something like enter Q to quit, anything else to continue. All right, and maybe here I'll add another slash in to create an extra line in there. And then we'll get input from the user. And let me just compile that and make sure that I didn't use choice previously. Oh, that looks good. All right, and then what we'll do then is to examine what the user entered and decide what to do there. So if choice equals Q, and remember we're comparing strings, so in Java you have to use dot equals for it to be reliable. We can add a couple of other options in there as well, the uppercase version, or even just the full blown quit if somebody entered that. All right, if somebody does that, they're quitting the game, so we'll give them a message, system.out.println, thanks for playing or something. And then we'll break out of that loop. And then otherwise, if they don't enter one of these options here, then it will just continue on. Okay, so let's test that out and see if it works. All right, so I can play for a couple of rounds. Oops. I didn't follow the directions. Oops. Did it again. All right, and so now I'm ready to stop playing, so I enter Q, and there we go, it quits playing. Okay. So that is one way to repeat a block of code, and definitely here there's multiple ways we could have done this, but here I just kind of chose the easy way and started this loop, and then at some point I asked the user if they want to quit, and if so, then I use the break statement to exit that loop.